So now we will discuss different biotechnology-based approaches that are utilized to improve some of the parameters in fruits and vegetables, particularly the nutritional parameters and the shelf life parameters in fruits and vegetables. As you know that fruits and vegetables, they can be either consumed as fresh or as processed products. Most of the vegetables, they would be consumed fresh, say for example in case of salads, and they are also cooked and they are also made into different products such as pickles or other vegetable or fruit based products such as jams or jellies and marmalades, etc. So that improvement would basically depend upon whether we are talking about the fresh produce or we are talking about the final end products. And the types of desirable attributes that we want to achieve in those fruits and vegetables would dictate what kind of biotechnological approaches are needed and what factors need to be improved. For example, most of the health image of fruits and vegetables is very positive, that they are very healthy and consumed for this reason. So this is one of the very important criteria for the consumer to select more nutritious fruits and vegetables, having better minerals and vitamin contents, having more bioavailable minerals and vitamin contents in order to improve health. So this is one of very important consideration for biotechnology based approaches. Similarly, they can be also source of functional compounds such as antioxidants. They can also be source of fiber as well, that are very much related to the health improvement. And that is why one of the major focus is to improve nutrition in fruits and vegetables. Some of the other factors that we consider for improvement in fruits and vegetable disciplines is to look at the desirable colors, flavors, textures of fruits and vegetables, as well as nutritional value, as I earlier said. These texture and flavor or colors, they are very important, especially for example, if we take the example of color, this is the very first parameter that is utilized by consumer to actually choose or make a buying decision. If say fruits and vegetables are of a desirable color tone, they would be considered as fresh and the consumers would be willing to pay money for them and take the buying decision quickly. Similarly, texture could have importance in fresh fruits as well as in the product that has been already produced by different mechanisms such as canning or any other products. So if we talk about the what are the quality determinants for fruits and vegetables, it could be different depending upon what vegetable or fruit we are talking. Either we are talking about the fresh or processed food, but generally some of the highlights can be, we can look at the degree of purity in fruits and vegetables or their products, firmness level in fruits and vegetables, particularly when they are fresh. Flavor is one of very important buying decision after color. People might judge the fruits and vegetables by their flavor as well. Color and size is also important. Having uniform size and desirable size, not too big, not too small, generally would bring more revenues for fruits and vegetables. The maturity condition, whether the food is ripe or unripe, that also a major decision factor that would be very much based upon the consumer preferences as well. And similarly, there can be other distinctive attributes as well, depending upon what fruits and vegetable process or fresh food we are talking about. Then this quality is not only something that is inherent, it is variable, especially because we are dealing with biological system. So the quality of fruits or vegetables we are talking about, that would depend upon the cultivar, the variety of the fruits and vegetables that is being produced at a farm level, or the environmental condition in which these crops are actually growing. Cultural practices, the way we do all the cultural practices with these fruits and vegetables. For example, do we use different approaches for weed removal, or do we add fertilizers or other kind of situations? Pest and disease, they would also affect the overall quality of fruits or vegetable. Time of harvest is an important thing. If things are put at they are harvested at the proper time, they might have longer shelf life, better attributes in terms of consumer selection. And then post-harvest and storage conditions are also important. As we earlier said, that most of the fruits and vegetables, the fresh products, are lost during the process of storage as well. So this is something where we lose a major share of these fruits and vegetables because this storage condition might not be good. So if we talk about overall biotechnology-based approaches, so they can be different approaches. You cannot control these environmental factor or variety factor or cultivar factor or other conditions such as disease. So everything is not controllable. Only something like this heredity or genetics, that can be something that remains relatively stable, and this is where we can actually do something about the biotechnological changes that actually would have long-lasting effect on producing good quality fruits and vegetables. Traditional breeding is very much common in fruits and vegetables. Generally, in case of tree biotechnology, or in cases where fruits are grown or trees, that breeding would take very long time, especially if a tree takes 10 years of time to produce fruits. At the maturity stage, then breeding of such plant would take many generations actually to improve and bring the desirable changes. This may not be the same case in case of vegetables because they have got shorter growing time in which we can have multiple generations with short time, so that breeding is possible. But in case of trees, we probably need to have more vigorous biotechnology-based approaches, although there are not a very high number of success stories in that case either. So generally, we deal with plant transformation in most of these biotechnology approaches to improve the shelf life or whether nutritional qualities of fruits and vegetables. So we would be dealing with the genes. They would be modified. They would be transferred into other plant. We can switch genes from one plant to another to actually bring those desirable changes. So these then ultimately would be affecting the nutritional quality. They would also make them more resistant to pest and disease. This is one of the important area for biotechnologists to actually look into, that we can produce more resistant crops which are resistant to certain environmental conditions, or they are resistant to different pests and disease as well. So these things can be done through genetic engineering. And there is a lot of success, as we see so many different types of hybrid seeds in the market for many vegetables particularly, and many cases of fruits are also visible.